Hello and welcome back to 3 Martini Launch plays Kerbal Space Program. I am 3 Martini Launch and I am playing Kerbal Space Program. In this series I am marching through the technology tree, which you may recall in the last episode I completed. This is episode 14, by the way. But I've got one outstanding bit of business, and that is the Dres, one-man mission to Dres. Due to budget cuts at the Kerbal Space Center, we're not able to send a refueler out to this module. It didn't have enough fuel to get back to Kerbin. But we decided that there is enough fuel to get to the abandoned science station in Lathe orbit. Let's take a quick look at that station. Okay, here's the science station. And again, it was abandoned last episode or the episode before. There's still lots of hardware out here. We had a rather large fuel module. And if we take a look at the resources, we can see there's about 1,100 fuel on it. All the fuel here is in the big fuel module. 1,179 liquid fuel, plenty of oxidizer, plenty to fill up that little spaceship we got orbiting Dres. So, without further ado, let's get to it. And here we go. Starting around Dres, we got Calming Kerbin, who's been stuck in that capsule for more than 3.5 years. Make sure all the science taken out. Also made sure all the fuel was transferred, and we go ahead and separate that lander. That's only going to get in the way. And let's set up a maneuver node to take us outward is on the dark side of the planet. And what I'm setting about 750. Oh, that's way too much. Pull that back. And well, rest assured, I eventually got an intercept. Joule is pretty hard to miss. And we begin that burn. It looked like a pretty short burn. I forgot to check the actual time. We go ahead and don't know where I am at this point in orbit, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust that intercept. Looks like it's direct intercept to Lathe, which is rather handy. And as a matter of fact, it is coming to Joule influence. Little Calming knows what he's doing there behind the wheel of the spaceship, I guess. He'll swing around Lathe, or swing around Joule rather, and then come into Lathe's sphere of influence. It looks like it's a pretty steep intercept, but basically didn't take any fuel after the initial ejection from Dres, or very little. And here we go. Come on down. We're at 650 kilometers, 600 kilometers. So there we go, going much faster. And coming down into the atmosphere now, about 40 kilometers. I'm not sure exactly where it is. Catching on fire. Yeah, I think it's like 41, 42 kilometers up for Lathe's atmosphere. This one I probably put down to 19,000. Well, it looks like it went down to about 20,000 before it started coming back up. The idea is you got to drop that velocity down to around 2,500 to establish an orbit. And I go ahead and did take a few more passes to do some aero braking to get it closer to a circle, and I'll end up kind of getting lucky there, getting a intercept on, well, it must have taken a lot of fuel. I'm down to 157 meters per second Delta V available. So it's taken just about everything to what I started with around 1,100. So it's been about 1,000 meters per second. And then I get there and I realize I don't have any monopropellant, or I do, but no RCS. No RCS thrusters, so good old Calming is going to have to jump out of the spaceship, and I think this begins the longest single uncut segment of video I've ever posted. Anyways, he's going to go ahead and rocket pack over to the that universal lander that's docked at the space station. It does have RCS thrusters on it. And he's going to go ahead and eventually, there we go, pop into the capsule. Go ahead and fill it up with fuel. And, in the retrospect, maybe I should have trimmed this down a bit. Anyways, he goes ahead and undocks. And we're going to set the camera up to chase mode so I can go, the right direction. I suppose I could have played around with the directional keys and found out which way was the right way. Set up the docking port on the Dres ship as the target. And come on, let's get on over there. Yeah, really should have cut this down because I'm taking my sweet time getting over there. And go ahead and point. It's got gyros on there, so go ahead and point the address ship straight at the universal lander. And come on, let's maybe do some time acceleration. There we go. We get that universal lander. Ooh, just goes very close past that solar panel. And we'll go ahead and dock with the Dred's return ship. And come on, there we go, just like that. Calming gets it done. Transfer the fuel from the universal lander into the Dres return vehicle. And that's only half a tank, and what does that give us? That gives us 3190. That's probably enough to get back, but we have more fuel. We got plenty. So let's go ahead and dock again at the station. And again, no edits from the time I came into Rendezvous Ranch. Long piece of video. And docking at the station. And Calming looks like he's an old pro at that. Go ahead and grab up one more load of fuel. That's gonna, not quite. This just about does it for the extra fuel there. And disconnect. Back away, back away. Go ahead and point towards your target there. Eventually. There we go. Now minus parallel, that works. Go ahead and switch back to the... no, I guess I'm just going to go for it from here with that. There we go. That's a trick I learned there. You notice I put my prograde vector on the opposite side of the target indicator on the artificial horizon. That means my ship will go past it and I'll eventually line up perfectly square as long as I stay with that minus parallel alignment from Smart ASS. Very handy little tip. And it brings me basically square on a perfect dock situation. So I don't know, can you do time acceleration there? Looking at the... Oh, there we go. I'm going to try to line it up exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, come on, the suspense is killing me. Is it going to dock successfully? Yeah, we all know it's going to dock successfully. There's really no glitches. This mission went off without a hitch or a glitch. Anyways, let's go ahead and transfer the rest of that fuel. And there we go. And that tank is full. Excuse me. And I think those little side tanks were already full. I'm not really sure. In any event, it's full enough. I didn't notice the how much many meters per second of delta V I had, but I'm sure it's in the neighborhood of 5,000 or 6,000. So let's go ahead and get the lander back to the science station. And it's drifted a little further away. I think when I started, it was like 25, 30 meters away. Now it's like 120 meters. Because the Dres return vehicle is drifting slowly away from the station. So we got another suspenseful moment. It's still drifting away. How far is it going to be? Will Calming be able to make it to the return vehicle? Well, if it wasn't, I probably wouldn't post this video. So yeah, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So we go ahead and get that lander docked back at the science station. Boom, there we go. That is how it's done. And 240 meters away. Calming, you're gonna have to run for it. And yeah, once again, retrospect, hindsight 2020. This is rather long. Can you do some time acceleration there, former me? Is it that little dot key is right there on the keyboard? Anyways, go ahead and fly it up to the Dres return thing. Oh, I must have taken a screenshot there. And maybe you get a little closer. You can't really see that ship very well. Come on. We were okay. Now we're halfway there. Yeah, we can start making out some details there to 80 meters. You can see the solar panels and the fuel engines. And of course, after it renders, it makes everything a little darker for some reason. If anybody knows how to prevent rendering from monkeying with the color palette, if you love a COD, let me know. I find it makes the videos a little bit darker, a little bit harder to see. Anyways, it goes ahead and rendezvous with the. Come on there, get in, grab. Oop, oh, he's flung off into space for the grab. Go ahead, let's give it another go. You're right there. Go ahead and grab, and flings you away again. Well, I've had this trouble before, where if the target ship isn't lined up on, one of a number of axes, you won't be able to grab the thing. So go ahead and tell it gets on this little remote control and sets the gyros to point at normal, north-south, and then he can go and get right on. So yeah, we're looking at 5,387 meters per second at delta V, more than enough to get back to Kerbin. I go ahead and set up a that's pretty interesting. A maneuver node to get me into Joule orbit out of Lathe's sphere of influence. And then we're going to set one up here. I know it says 5 days, but at these distances with this amount of time, you get a little bit of flexibility on the timetable there. So I'm going to go ahead and line up an encounter with. And it looks like I don't. Come on, careful. Oop, there we go. There's something. And eventually I should start editing this video. Okay, we're tug on this, tug on that, and I'm tugging on the tuggies and bringing it in, and there we go. And brings us into what am I coming into Kerbin's? No, I'm leaving Joule's sphere of influence at that one. Let's take a look at that orbit. Well, that's pretty good. Go ahead and set up a maneuver node there, wherever that is. Let's see if we can bring that in a little bit closer. Go ahead and click on the. Okay, that's nice. That'll work out pretty well. Hey, here I am coming into Kerbin's sphere of influence. Good old calming Kerbin. Just about to complete his mission, and he's coming in 28,000. It's a little shallow. Go a little bit deeper than that, if you don't mind. Let's see. Are you gonna? There you go. That's right. You don't have any RCS, so you couldn't use RCS thrusters you don't have. Anyways, I use the maneuver node to stop me as I get up to about 1 million kilometers above the surface, and then time accelerate down in. Almost there, coming. We're in the atmosphere. Go ahead and turn retrograde. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Get rid of the engine section that served us so well. I like to zoom in on that radar altimeter, so I got something to look at as I'm, if I'm coming in over mountains or whatever. You don't know what the actual altitude is. And I'm going to do any more science while I'm here. Oh, and there we go. The parachutes come out. Good old calming. Ooh, the capsule lands on the surface of Kerbin once again. Calming Kerbin. Puts out his flag. Calming was here. Returned after 5 years in space. I think it was a little bit more than that. 5.5 years. Anyways, he did pick up a little bit of science. There it is, 2,272.7 science from Dres. I bring my excess science to 11,610 science after the tech tree was completed. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the series. That's going to do it for the. I don't even know if I named the series. My March Through the Tech Tree. My buddy issued a challenge to me more recently involving getting the most science possible from a single mission. So I'm probably going to be posting that as as a, I think that might have to do 2 or 3, maybe even 4 episodes to get that one done. I've already actually started doing and recording the mission. Anyways, good night, everybody, and you too, Mrs. Miller.